When you hear that hate coming your way from others, build a spiritual firewall against that hate. Kindness and compassion. I had an All-American basketball player, and he goes, you know what, Mr. Pritchard, from the time I was in 3rd grade, these kids sent me home crying every day. And it wasn't because my mom and dad lived in a trailer park and I didn't have the perfect clothes to their little preppy yuppie school. Those kids sent me home crying every day, man. They want their picture taken and an autograph because I'm going to be in the NBA. But when I was a kid, they sent me home crying every day. And it was just because I had big ears. And I couldn't tell my mom because she had big ears too. I couldn't tell my dad because he got married to my mom and had a bunch of kids that looked like open car doors. But now that we're talking about it, where's that respect we need? Think. Don't get me wrong, I'm not a saint. We teased kids when I was a kid. We used to make fun of kids all the time. But I learned this, and we all know this, wherever I am around the globe, everybody knows this. What comes around, what goes around. The good you do will come back to you, but the bad you do will be sad for you, but the good you do will come back to you. We used to pick on this little girl and say the meanest things to her in elementary school. Gina, round and fat, could not see where her feet were at. When she skipped rope on the ground, the earth would shake for miles around. And we'd laugh just like you're laughing now. Only nobody wanted to be there when that little 3rd grade girl would sit in her own room and close the door and not tell her mom and dad how bad she hurt. And she'd go, the other kids in school hate me and I'm beginning to hate myself. I hate me as much as they hate me. There's a wonderful line from the villages of Kenya. If you do not know, it is bad, but if you do not want to know, it is worse. You know, some of you have hurt your best friends the most. You've made other kids go home crying. You've laughed when they cried, and you know how sick that is. Think about what's happening. I didn't think about the way we treated Gina till years later. I was working with kids as a counselor at juvenile hall, and a kid hit me in the back of the head, and I had to get stitches. And he tried to escape, and they caught him, and they gave him 3 more years or 2 more years on a sentence. I had to go up to the hospital and get stitches put in my head, and I was laying up in the hospital emergency room, and a very kind young doctor walked in and started to stitch up my head, and she looked at my card and she went, I go, what? She goes, I went to school with you. High school or college? Grade school. I go, I don't think I remember you. She goes, you don't remember Gina round and fat? And I went, ah! I had this image of her going, oh, you need a lot of stitches. And I went, blah, 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 blah. I go, Gina, that was the Estevez brothers and Bonzi and I, but that was in 3rd and 4th and 5th and 6th, all the way through. She goes, I wasn't going to let what a bunch of little people with little attitudes come between me and who I dreamed I could. I go, what? You knew that in 3rd grade? She did. Nobody can make you feel bad about yourself unless you give them your permission. Great teachers taught us that. Think. Team is together, everyone, anyone matters. Sometimes the person on your team you think the least accepting will be the one who will help you score the goal or the basket. Think. I went off to the pharmacist and I gave him the 2 prescriptions that Dr. Gina gave me, and he came back and he goes, Mike, this one prescription you gave me is Tylenol, that's a painkiller, but the other one, this is a personal note from that doctor to you. And right there on it, Gina wrote, Michael's brain was very small, although he was almost 10 feet tall. Now I'm thin and he got fat. Ha ha ha, it goes like that. Underneath she put, P.S. Sticks and stones could break my bones, but words could break a heart. Think about what you're doing. There are kids here. Look up here now. Sit up. Everybody sit up. Good. How many of you, smart as we are, brilliant as we are, hear the word retard used at school? That's retarded, you're retarded, shut up, oh my God, you are so retarded. Yeah. We have to put somebody else down to make us feel good. Hands down. I've been a coach at Special Olympics for 30 years. I love special kids because I think kids who are special are living thermometers of love. And kids call them retarded, but they have much to teach us. I was out at Special Olympics. Boom, the gun goes off, and I got a girl in the 220. I'm her coach. And she takes off running and laughing at the same time. She's running and laughing. She goes, yes! Ah, ha, ha, ha. Woo! And she gets all the way down to the finish line, 40 yards in front of everybody, and she stops. And I was her coach. I said, no, come here, honey, you win the gold medal. No, Coach Michael, I will stay here. I said, no, you win the gold medal. Come to me, walk to me, snap the finish line. Come, you'll win the gold medal. No, Coach, I will stay here for my friends. And she turned around and she put her hand out for her friend who turned and put her hand out for her friend, and then all 6 kids held hands. And they came across the finish line together, and she goes, woo! Together we all could win. Together we all could win. Oh, yeah, somebody's going to use that retard word before the end of the day like you couldn't learn. Think with your hearts. Now I'll show you courage. I know that there are kids in this room that have been teased and picked on and bullied and left out and isolated. Or maybe you've been a bully and now you know you shouldn't. But I would like for some of them to share with us what it feels like to be teased or picked on, it, what it does to the human heart. Because the bullies need to know, and our classmates need to know, the scars that hurt our pain and hurt our hearts. And I know that there are kids of courage, and I will not let anyone laugh at you. And when they come down, we give them a round of applause for their courage. And when they sit down, a round of applause for their courage. And when you come down, you're not just standing up for yourself, you're standing up for every kid afraid to speak truth to power and help us to grow wiser. With every drop of pain on the heart, human wisdom grows. Think with your hearts. Could I get somebody to volunteer to come down and share what it feels like to be picked on or teased? Come down. Come down. Come. Yes, come. If you have your hand up, give them a big round of applause. Right here, right in front of me. Stand here with the mic. Stand here in front of me. Okay. What's your first name?
Manaya.
Talking to the mic, hon.
Manaya.
Tell us what happens. What have kids said? Telling the truth now. Speak the truth. What have they said to you that's hurt?
People tell me that I'm ugly and stupid, and they call me names and tease me because I don't have a dad.
What does it do to your heart?
It makes me so sad because they always talk about me and laugh at me and stuff.
Sit down in that seat. When you want to know what courage is, it has nothing to do with soccer or basketball or football or baseball. This is the kind of courage you need to respect, that speaks the truth, to tell all of us. Because someday this could be your daughter. And I totally honor your spirit. Give her heart a huge round of applause for her courage. Huge round of applause. You better applaud now. I'll see you two afterwards. You will come talk to me. Afterwards, I want to talk to you. How should we all try to treat each other? Step up, hon. How should we all? What do you need from your classmates here? How should we treat each other?
With respect.
And when you see a kid getting teased or picked on, what should we all try to do?
We should,
Talk into the mic now.
We should stand up for the other kids. And
Why is it important to stand up for that kid? What does it do for them? What does it do for you?
For them, it helps them not to get hurt, and for you, it shows that you're not a bully and you're standing up for others.
It helps them not to get hurt, and it proves that you're not a bully. You're standing up for others. That's school leadership. Give that a huge round of applause. Thank you. Good job, sweetheart. Thank you. That's the school leadership you need to follow. Who else can share? Who else can share? Come on. What's your first name?
Amir.
Amir, tell us what's happened before. What have kids said to you that's hurt?
No, said some kids, I had a fight a couple years ago. Someone pushed me into a glass table and I got a scar right here on on my eye.
What did that violence do, not to your outside, but to your inside?
Hurt me.
Did it hurt your heart?
Mm-hmm.
And you're holding still that scar tissue just inside. And you had some kids make fun of you and laugh at you because of it, correct?
Yes.
What did that do to you?
Hurt me.
What does it do to any kid?
Hurt them.
You hear the truth. You can't walk out the day and say you didn't hear him. This is clearly the truth. You're a remarkable spirit, son. I totally honor you for your courage. Cour is the French word for heart. Encourage. Give strength to the heart, not discourage. Take strength away. You are brave and kind and good, compassionate spirit. What do we need from our classmates? What do you need here at school from everyone, older and younger?
Not fight. Show respect to anybody.
And when you see an isolated, lonely kid, what should you try to do?
Make friends with them.
I honor you today. If you want to follow somebody, I don't think you should listen to the older kids who might be sneering and laughing now. Follow the younger hearts who are innocent enough to speak the truth the way it needs to be stated. Don't be a hater. Give him a round of applause. Big round of applause. Who else can share? I need a few more. We're listening and we are not laughing. We are listening and we are not laughing. What's your first name?
Samir.
Tell us what's happened to you. Telling the truth, Samir.
A lot of people have said bad words to me, like stupid, retarded, and B word,
What has it done to your heart? Look up at the crowd.
It hurt my heart.
Have you sometimes gotten angry and hurt other people? What would you like to say to those that you have hurt?
Sorry.
This is the courage. This is the respect that you need. This is the dignity that needs to be shared. If we live in a world where people are constantly, as Mahatma Gandhi said, if we all live by an eye for an eye, soon the world will be blind. Look what's happening. The violence needs to stop. We need to be respectful. You're a great young man. I honor you. Give his heart a round of applause for his courage. How should we all treat each other here at school? If you had a dream school, how would you want to be treated here at your dream school? Talking to the mic.
I want everybody to be respected and have no fight.
Give him a round of applause. Great job, son. I love you, man. Thank you. Come on. Come. If a couple of more of you want to come down to share, you can. Stand right here. Come right here. We're listening and we are not laughing. We are listening. Tell me your first name.
Panat.
Panat. Tell us what happens sometimes.
Sometimes people make fun of my height.
What do they say to you?
They say that I look like I'm in third grade.
What does that do to your heart?
It makes me sad.
Is it fair to you or to any kid?
No.
Stop a second. From the smallest person in the room, the mightiest heart, the greatest heart, you're a remarkable spirit. I totally honor you. Your courage, you're speaking up for every kid who's afraid to get up and speak, and you have incredible courage. Standing on your heart, you're bigger than everyone in this room. Give a huge round of applause. This is your school. How should we all treat each other? Hang on, wait for me. How should we all treat each other?